So I'm at probably week 4 of this build of this Jeep. I have a video up about 3 weeks ago that I did to see if it would run. So where I'm at today is I was just doing the water pump and the thermostat and a new radiator I'm installing. But at this point of the Jeep, the brakes are done, the bodywork is done, the floor has been repaired. I'm still waiting for some pieces to show up for the rear cross frames and the rear bumper mount, because they have to be welded in, and I don't have the 2 cross frames yet. So I don't want to weld the frame repair and find out it's off a 1/4 inch and I don't match up with the cross frames. But anyways, yeah. So this video is going to be like my normal build videos where I just do a montage of pictures at the end. But at this point I've got tons of footage, and if I put it all in one video at the end when it's done, no one's going to sit through 3 hours of that. So I'm going to use this intro here. From this point forward, I'm going to do the stages. So I'm probably more than, I'd say probably 60%, 65% done of what I want to do to get this thing on the road at this point. So I'm going to use this time to explain that. I'm going to break up after the start video. I'm going to include some of that footage in today's video, and then I'm going to do about 1/3 of the build, and then we'll do like a 3 or 4 part video of it, because it's, yeah, who wants to sit and watch that much video of, you know, the same stuff. And I don't do a breakdown of actually fixing things because I'm not a mechanic. It's just how I would do it. And if you want to learn how to do brakes in a Jeep, there's thousands of videos out there. You don't need to watch my video. I'm just showing you my progress with this Jeep. And I'll actually run over the costs of some of the stuff too, because I'm trying to keep this affordable. I'm not building a Barrett-Jackson quality vehicle here. It's just a safe driving vehicle. No bells and whistles, cheap. You know, used when I can, and shop for new stuff. And you do it right, but don't go crazy, because you can go crazy on these. I have gone crazy on builds before. Anyways, so yeah, that's the intro on what this video is going to be all about, and where I'm going to go from here on this build video. Anyways, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again. All right, bye. So we got caught off guard. It's first couple of weeks of December, and we got a lot of snow. But one of my projects for this winter was to try and get this thing started. It's a 93. It's a 4-cylinder. I bought it, I think it was almost 2 years ago now, just because it was a good deal, had ownership, and the frame was decent. So it's been sitting here about 2 years. The guy that I bought it from, just south of Ottawa, he had it sitting for almost 8 years, and he never got to it. So it's got a bit of rust in the body, not too big. The frame is really good. Like, I've gone at it with a pickaxe, and I can only make some holes at the very, very back, which I can repair no problem. But seems like a decent starter project. And just had the wife say to me, hey, I wouldn't mind driving that Jeep around. So it's like, all right, that's all I need to try to get started. So we're going to drag this thing back to the shop. It's about half a kilometer away, and then thaw it out and see if we can get it started with there's a lot of parts missing. So I don't know what we're into here. All right. Oh, here she is inside. So, gonna shovel some snow out of the back and try to eliminate as much water as possible in the garage here. And yeah, that's a better look at it. Pretty cool Jeep. We'll see what we can do with it. Okay, that's good. Obviously there's a bunch of wiring missing connecting this fuse panel. I'm going to get this out of the way a bit. And I'm going to turn up this thing to 60 amps. That was 40. And I got to run a bit of spray here. That's some better. Storage key. Alright. See if she kicks. Oh my. So I tried to siphon the fuel. The tank I think is pretty full. I tried to siphon the fuel out. Have you ever seen fuel that color? Oh God. So yeah, it's a disaster in that tank. Anyways, I gotta figure out a way to drain it because that's just gonna muck up the injectors if I do get it running. Anyways, stay tuned. So just dumped the fuel tank out, or got it out, and look at the corrosion in that tank. Oh, I don't know if you can see in there. It's a plastic tank, but yeah, like I know of 8 years this Jeep's been sitting, but I've never ever seen that much corrosion inside a fuel tank, and it's a plastic tank. But oh, look at that sludge. Nice. And this thing actually tried to start. Crazy. It might be worth keeping after all. Anyways, gotta take this off and clean it and figure out a way to get this thing to run. See if it's worth fixing. All right, so yesterday the sending unit gasket showed up, and then today the sending unit showed up. So we can get working on getting this thing fired up. And then lo and behold, I open up the box and gasket. So it didn't say when I ordered it, it came with a gasket, but it did. So there's $6 wasted. Anyways, let's get to work on getting this in the tank, getting some fuel in the tank, and hopefully get this thing running. All right, so I've got the sending unit in the tank. I've got about 3 gallons of fresh gas in the tank. Tank is cleaned out. Hooked up the electronics, and basically we're ready to go. I'm gonna just hook up the power to the electronic system, not the starter, just the electronics, so we can hear if the pump's working or not. So let's see what we got here. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, the pump is working, which is great. Here, I'll put that down there. There you go. Okay, now let's hook up the battery to the starter. See if we can get this thing to go. All right. Pardon my Mickey Moses. Mickey Mosens. I don't want to do that there. I guess right there's fine. Okay, so power to the electronics. Fuel pump is working. Let's see what goes on here. I want to put you somewhere where you won't fall off. Oh, I took the fenders off while I was waiting for the sending unit. I took the fenders off. So let's see if I can wrap you around here. Just gonna run it for a couple of seconds because I really like to change the oil. The oil looks brand new, but it's 8 years old. So let's see what happens here. Fingers crossed. All right, so I took out spark plugs, and one of them had some stuff lodged in it, and the other one, the gap was closed. So let's see what we get. Let's see what we get now. But they work. Let's get you out of here before we suffocate. It actually runs pretty good. So the tack works. Fuel works. Oil pressure. Battery's charging. Yeah, I think that's a success. All right, I gotta shut her down before we suffocate here. Awesome. Just a small little job here. The driver's side door latch is broken. I got the new one right there. Just a small thing, but now I can keep that door closed. But yeah, we got bigger problems than that. Anyways, yeah, that's one update. All right, so I got the back bumper off. I got the springs, shackles released. And this side's not that bad. You got this one hole right here, but you get the whole piece. So I'm changing everything out. And the back cross member is not that bad, but they're welded together. So I've ordered a new one. And I think they're only like 130 bucks. It's not really worth my time to try to save that. It's decent everywhere except for right up in there. So I could patch that, but like I said, I already ordered one because I know these are welded together, and this side here is a bit worse. The pieces I've ordered do not come with the top. You're supposed to cut along here, replace. They've got the shock mounts there, and but it's really strong right here, so I'm just gonna patch that. So I'm gonna cut all this out, or actually no, I'm not. I'm gonna cut out what I'm supposed to cut out, leave that, and then weld a piece on top. A little bit tight working in here. I'd love to take the body off, but the rest of the frame is good, and this will be the only spot I'm going to be doing working. Oh, and I've got to replace that cross member too. Let's get this turned around here. That cross member is pretty rotten, but it also is welded to the frame, so that's going to be. It would be great if I could get that floor out of the way, but well, let's figure that as we go, just like anything else I do. Anyways, all right, stay tuned. So while I'm waiting for the cross frame, the rear cross frame, and the gas tank cross frame to come in, I'm going to attack this small little bit of rust. I've grinded away as much as I can, and these bolts are a shaft that runs right through for the steering box, just basically on here. So they are all the way through, a collar around that bolt. So I'm just going to basically cut a piece here and weld it on. And this side is it. Everything else is decent. It's just weird how, and it was full of mud. Like I spent half an hour picking all the mud out of that thing. It was impacted right to there. Anyways, the other side doesn't have that problem, and it's really good. There's a couple of cracks here. I might just throw some weld on that. Frame cracking, maybe from the bumper hitting something or something. I don't know. But anyways, that side's good. The rest of the front is good. This side is good. Crossbar here is good. Just that spot right there. So yeah, I'm gonna cut a piece to come across, oh, where are you? Come across here, down, around, across the bottom, up, around, and like that, right there. Because it's surprisingly really thick, just off of where it was rusting. It just that almost like look at the difference here. It's paper thin, thick. Anyways, put a piece there today because like I said, I'm waiting for cross member parts for the back. Anyways, all right, stay tuned. So I'm working on this corner piece in the floor that's rotten. Basically, I start out with a piece of cardboard that I'm gonna use to let me know what dimension of sheet of steel I need to cut and bend. So I've got this piece here. I've bent up the edge to give me an edge to fasten the body repair to, and then we'll work on that's your template to cut your steel, because it's easier to cut cardboard multiple times than to cut steel multiple times. So then we'll after we do this part, we will manufacture a new side pillar, and I'll be doing that out of a thicker steel. Anyways, stay tuned. So this is that corner that had the hole. This is sheet metal for the floor, and then this is almost an 1/8 thick metal, because I have to fasten the seatbelt anchor here. This is 1/8, and then this is like 1/16 sheet metal. So that is basically stronger than it was when it was factory. So unfortunately the seatbelt is seized, so I gotta find a new seatbelt set up for that there. But yeah, the hole is gone. I have more work to do along here, but it didn't need to be, it doesn't only need to be sheet metal. This stuff is really, really hard to work with and bend and stuff. So from here down, it's just gonna be sheet metal. I just wanted to make sure that that seatbelt didn't come out in case of an accident. Anyways, yep, next project. Started cleaning up the passenger side to make a patch right here. There's a bit of rust right there, so patch that hole. And then as I got chiseling, we ended up with another hole. But this one still has the seatbelt mount right there, and that's in good shape right around it for some odd reason. But I'm gonna put a plate across the whole thing, but I'm gonna drill a hole in there so I can still use the same hole and the same, I guess you call this like a, I don't know, an indent for the claw on right there. So just cut that out of the piece I put in, and then I'll do the same thing I did on the other side. Just no, I don't have to come around to this side because that's still good, like I did over there. Anyways, yeah, let's get going on that. Like I said, I already did that patch because I thought this was a easy corner, easy side, but ended up not being. Everything was rotten underneath the coating, the undercoating. All right. All right, so we've got this portion rebuilt. This is tin. This is tin. This is 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and then the holes are there for the seatbelt attachment. I haven't transferred it over to that side because those were completely rotten, so I didn't know where the holes were. But this one here, the holes are put in, and this is still in good shape. So there we go. Should help with the getting this vehicle safety, now that it's safe. All right, now next part.